Check this out. They added these cartridge symbols. I don't remember that being there before. So it shows that you have the cartridge inserted. It shows that I don't have the cartridge inserted for this, which, I figured, but I guess maybe it shows something different for digital games. Also, right at the beginning of me starting this stream, OMG plays a game rating with a party of 7 here. Wowie, 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 raid, wowie, wowie, wowie. Amazing there. Welcome on in, King Duty, and OMG plays a game. I greatly appreciate the raid there. What were you just streaming? I'm literally right at the beginning of starting this stream. We're just getting things underway. I've still barely touched this game. This is only stream 2 for me. And the last one I had to call short because the flashing lights were messing with my head after being awake way too long on the weekend. Last weekend I was awake for 32 hours and I streamed this game, what, Monday? Something like that? Now it's Friday, so now there should be suitable time after that so that this game doesn't give me a headache anymore. One can hope. Heck is this, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, the hit prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. Should mean Expedition 33, that sounds rough. It was a bit, but it was a 24-hour charity stream, so it was for a good cause there. And I've heard amazing things about Expedition 33. Everyone keeps on talking about it like it's, like, freaking so dang amazing. And it looks like a game that I would really get a kick out of. But it's so difficult to have the proper time to do all the things that I want to do. But Expedition 33 is one of those RPG games that's kind of on my mental list of like, when the day comes that I have some time, I should get around to playing it. Metaphor ReFantasia is another good example of another RPG game that's on that same mental list of like, when I eventually have some time, people seem to really like that game. I should probably play it. Yeah, I hear that. I've been having fun with it. Nice. Glad that you're enjoying it. Yeah, I would like to get around to it one day. Or, I mean, I love that game, Metaphor ReFantasia. Another one that I should play that, I take it. Yeah, I would play Expedition 33, but it goes against my morals. I can't because it's French. No, I'd like to one of these days. That would be nice there. Yeah, not quite playing Kirby Air Riders yet, but I put it in the stream title as like a note of, it comes out in less than a week, so that's another new release that I'll be playing there. Would highly recommend if you want to play that game and have time for no others. Yeah, that is fair enough there. I have way too many games going on right now. I technically don't have to do like a full playthrough of Age of Imprisonment here, but after I've done like, also Guzma with the gifted sub there. OMG plays a game. Welcome on into Team Harmonic here. Enjoy a month of the emotes and the sub badge and all that fun stuff. And Guzma, I greatly appreciate the gifted sub. And now I completely forget what I was saying. Well, I mean, there was one time where I had like 10 different games at once. Yeah, luckily we're not that bad. How many do I have right now, technically? Let's see here. The amount going on right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of 5? I have these ones smaller because these ones are kind of on the back burner now. Night Rain I might mostly leave be for the sake of catching up on other stuff until the DLC comes out. Once the DLC comes out in a few weeks, then of course I'll go ham on this. I was planning on finishing off the DLCs of this that I still have like undone before the end of the year. I don't think I'm gonna have time for it. I think I might just do the final DLC sometime next year and just finish off the small little twiddlywinks of other extra content that was in there for now because yikes. Yeah, it does look pretty awesome. I am looking forward to that. And then there's my 3 main games. There's Pokemon Legends ZA, Ghost of Yote, whiplash of quality switching between these 2 games, let me tell you. And then this that just came out recently because I've done all 3 other games in the Hero of the Wild saga with Zelda, and I typically cover any new Zelda games that come out. So this is ongoing. And then, friggin' next week, Kirby Air Riders releases, so I'll play that, and that should probably be short. It probably won't take too long. I hope. It's Kirby Air Riders. It's not gonna be a whole elaborate playthrough, right? I was thinking about Octopath Traveler 0, but one, it's a game key card, so that's one thing that kind of killed my love for it, and I've been falling out of love with Team Asano stuff from Squeenix for a little while now. Plus, in addition to all the other stuff coming out, Metroid Prime 4 and the Elden Ring DLC come out on that same day. This I'm saying is very, very likely I'm not doing this. There's a chance that maybe I'll pick this up to check it out on like a Steam summer sale or something one day, way down the line. I don't think I'm playing this one on release. So, yeah, it's been a little bit crazy here. I don't think I'm playing Pocopia because it's a $100 game key card game, so, screw that. So, yeah. It is a lot of games to keep track of. And that's kind of how it goes around here. And for the past several weeks, there's been a new game releasing like every 2 weeks that I plan on playing on the channel. So like October, whatever the heck it was. I think that early October, there was Ghost of Yote that came out. And then mid-October, there was Pokemon Legends ZA. And then a week after that was Plants vs. Zombies Replanted that I already did start to finish. And then 2 weeks after that was this game right here that just came out. I appreciate the 100 bits there, Anima.
$100.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a $100 game, Pokemon Pokopia, and it's not even on the cartridge. It's a game key card game. So then this game came out, and then 2 weeks after the release of this game, Kirby Air Riders is coming out. And then 2 weeks after the release of Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4 and Elden Ring Night Raid DLC is coming out. So I don't know how the heck I'm gonna get all this stuff done. It's gonna take me a while. I don't know how much stuff I'm finishing before the end of this year, but like, I'll commit and do what I can, but it is a little bit of insanity. Enjoy the lurk there, OMG plays a game. And how are you doing today, Anima? Appreciate the 100 bits there. Once again, yeah, it's Canada, so it'd be like $80 USD. But still, I want to, oh my god, I almost dropped my controller and I caught it there. Same with the Hyrule Warriors here. I need one of these big boys to be able to afford a game nowadays. A little bit more than that after taxes. I think Mystery Dungeon DX is the best spin-off game for the Switch, actually. Like, in general of spin-off games? Maybe. I could probably really rack my mind about some really solid spin-off games. I'm alright. My sickies is gone, just a lingering cough. Okay, well, that's good that it's mostly gone there. Let's do growing suspicion there. Pokemon spin-off games. Yeah, it probably is the best in terms of Pokemon spin-off games. And then second best is probably new Pokemon Snap. So yeah, I'm kind of losing my mind over current ongoing games. So I'm trying to commit and get through what I can here. I think the game that I'm probably going to commit the most strongly to for the next little while is Ghost of Yote. Because my little cousin is interested in borrowing my PS5 and finishing off like Bloodborne, playing through the DLC and stuff. So I think I'm going to commit to that mostly. I still want to do another session of this first and foremost because I only did like the one shortest stream. But, you know, I'll still be chipping away at all my ongoing things. But the one I'll probably be doing the most frequently for the next little while, probably going to be Ghost of Yote. Maybe I'll try to see that through. There's a chance that I might only be like halfway through the game. But, you know, who knows there? I mean, the only other ones I can think of is Detective Pikachu 2 and New Snap. Yeah, there's Pokken Tournament. That was technically a Wii U game. Pokken Tournament's really good. I actually really like Pokken Tournament. I don't really even play that many fighting games, but I quite like Pokken Tournament. What's going on here? Use the Force. I mean, we're literally controlling a lightsaber here, so I mean...
You learn quickly, Zelda. Soon I won't have any more to teach you.
Please, I'm only a beginner.
I noticed something during the Molduga attack. Your power is already far stronger than my own, and perhaps even beyond Raru's, for that matter.
I don't know. I've still so far to go.
Zelda, this is no flattery. With that amount of power, the day will surely come that you can manipulate multiple objects at once. Or maybe even something larger, yes?
I'll try my best.
Good. I'm certain your training will prove useful.
Is something the matter, Lunalia?
Lady Zelda, so this is where you've been. Could have sworn I saw you going back to your room, but I guess my eyes were playing tricks on me. I come bearing word from Lady Mineru. She's gone alone to the depths to confirm a few things about her research.
The depths? I understand. Thank you. Though it's rather strange, don't you think? I've been here and haven't gone to my chambers since morning.
Haven't you heard the stories? A young woman has appeared of late, said to look just like you.
Actually, I did find it odd that you didn't respond when I called. many eerie rumors around the castle these days. And somehow they all come back to you, Lady Zelda. Perhaps someone's jealous of all the praise you've been getting and started wearing the same clothes as you, all so they can drag your good name down into the mud. Maybe it's an evil spirit made in your image. Or worse, a terrible sorcery from the harsh corners of the desert. I knew I should have talked to Lady Minoru's researchers that said they ran into her when I had the chance. Oh, how didn't I realize?
Huh?
It's them. Ancient beings crawling out of the depths and stealing the faces of anyone they come across.
Linalia, you really seem to be enjoying this.
Oh, well, I just want to cover the possibilities. You can't be too careful.
You truly are one of a kind, and a great friend for Zelda.
Yes, life would be quite a bore without her.
You tease, my lady. If you'll excuse me, I should be getting back to work.
I have to know, does this other me exist or not?
Consider when we first caught word of her, the day we welcomed the Gerudo to the castle. A terrible sorcery from the desert, wasn't it? Linalia's wild daydreams may in fact be steeped in reality. Why don't the two of us search for some answers?
What?
With Hyrule away from the castle, it's our duty to dispel any fears our people may hold.
Oh, growing suspicion. Meanwhile, we were just talking about Matt Mercer in the chat there. And roles that he's been in. Laser beam time. Can't let this danger reach Sonya and everyone else back at the castle. Okay. Chief Ganondorf has gone ahead to search for the source of these shades. We must join him at once. Well. Oop. I know his voice really well. I don't know his voice very well. The behind the voice actors page that I just liked, I wasn't paying too much attention to the face. Does he now? Beam. 3. Someone just hit me there. Is your Ganondorf attendants? Yes, shouldn't you be off helping him instead? Collecting all these orbs and stuff. Normal circumstances, yes. But he bade us escort you. And we always heed his command. But yeah, he's a cinnamon roll. But yeah, Matt Mercer's a bit of a legend there. And honestly, having him as like the voice choice, for just the role, I should say here, for Ganondorf in these games. No complaints from me. Let me tell you. I do like me some Matt Mercer. Not gonna lie. Beams. Gotta remember how to play this game, man. Oh yeah, wasn't it hit this button multiple times there? Yeah. Here, do something like that, and oh my god. What the heck, man? Shades won't get the better of me this time. We'll put an end to them here and now. Lots of things. Find sentiment, but you need more than courage to win this battle. My spear is with you, should you require it. What's this? Oops! There's still overrun with shades. A certain Ganondorf is waiting for us up ahead. Oops. I'm used to hitting A to interact with things in games. Yeah, Law from One Piece is another big one there. More must have sprung forth after you passed through the area. Oop. They're strong no matter how many we defeat. They just keep coming. Knew I recognized him from somewhere. Yeah, I was about to say, like, he's been in enough things that, like, you hear Ganondorf in this game, you'll probably recognize the voice. Because he's been in a lot of things. Yeah, chances are you're gonna recognize it. Forgive me, your majesty. Well, that one has some blue spots. So if we do see Ganondorf in this stream here, you'll be like, whoa, that voice, Shade. Is this series called Critical Role? Yep, he does indeed. He's like the #1 D&D campaign group. Yeah, he's a turbo nerd. He absolutely is. Okay. Whoa, gotta remember how to play this stupid game, man. I don't know, frost emitter. Boop. Maybe I can freeze you here. Frost emitter. There we go. Follow up here. Got like 3 seasons. It has a 4th and final season coming out. Oh. So, yeah. Decent while then. I'm not close enough to that, am I? I am not. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and pop a battery there. Whoa. You better not, dude. Ow. It's on Amazon Prime. Oh. I thought it would have just been like a general online kind of thing. Like, I've never looked into it before. I've heard of Critical Role before. I know that Matt Mercer is, you know, the guy there. But people have told me about it on my streams a decent bit before. But yeah, I used to watch the live streams for the D&D campaigns back in the day. Well, then it might seem really familiar if you end up seeing Ganondorf here in this game. Maybe. Whoops, I couldn't quite dodge in time. I shouldn't have buffered that extra attack. Kind of locked me into it. I am not doing particularly well at this, am I? Boop. Deadzo. Alright, well that didn't exactly go swimmingly, did it? Beams! Still more shades lie ahead, but worry not. The old constructs guarding the area should be fighting them off as we speak. Advance while defeating the shades. Okay, I can do that. Me and my spectacular hair here. Oh. Yeah! Okay, Vox Machina has the same art style as Invincible and Pantheon. I'm not familiar with Pantheon. Invincible I am. These two, they've been possessed, meaning we have no choice but to stop them. One of the main characters is literally just Kratos. Oh my god. That doesn't quite restore as much as I would like. Stop hitting me. Yeah, it sounds familiar. If it's that one that you mentioned to me that's like the super sci-fi mindfuck thing, then yeah, that sounds familiar in that case. Okay. Oh, they're already dead. Okay. I did that way too early. Jeez. So I'm confused on this timeline, by the way. So is it Age of Imprisonment, then Calamity, then Tears, then Breath? No. So the timeline would be Imprisonment, Calamity, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So, like, you have Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that comes right after. And Age of Calamity is kind of like the prequel spin-off thing to Breath of the Wild, so it comes before Breath of the Wild, so it's like here in the timeline, then Breath of the Wild, then Tears of the Kingdom. But the past of Tears of the Kingdom is like way further back, like the founding of Hyrule. So, yeah, it goes Age of Imprisonment, Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So, we went from the end of the timeline to the beginning of the timeline in the Hero of the Wild saga here across these games. But this is more direct prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. It has story elements that relate to that, because all the stuff that happens in the past of Tears of the Kingdom basically is like no weight on the story of Breath of the Wild, as far as I'm aware. Maybe it does. I'm not a Turbo Zelda nerd enough to know these things, but they seem pretty isolated in that it's like, yep, Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity is the past of that game, and then Tears of the Kingdom and Age of Imprisonment is the past of that game, but like way earlier in the past and stuff. So we're kind of at the beginning of the timeline here. Okay, boop. Smack, 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 smack. So we're playing as Rauru here, who has the magic hand that Link used in Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, well, beginning of the Hero of the Wild saga, at least. Beginning would be like Skyward Sword, I guess. We're not quite the beginning of the Zelda timeline. Though this does make me wonder, how the heck does this, relate to the overall Zelda timeline? Because, like, there's a whole bunch of games that would have canonically taken place before Breath of the Wild and all that. And yet, like, they confirmed that with some of the things that Zelda says, where it's like, whether it be through Twilight, Across Seas, or whatever the heck, where clearly a lot of Zelda games have happened before this point. And obviously Skyward Sword would have needed to happen, because it's like the first one where, you know, Skyloft comes down and stuff. And clearly, with the other Zelda games that have happened, Hyrule has existed in those other Zelda games. Whereas this one, with Tears of the Kingdom, is supposed to be like the founding of Hyrule. Rauru's supposed to be like the first king of Hyrule. So it's like, how does that work? Did it go there? It couldn't have gone Age of Imprisonment to a whole whack of other Zelda games to then like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like that wouldn't make sense because Ganondorf was all sealed away. So that, unless there's like 2 Ganondorfs here, so that another Ganondorf could be messing stuff up in those other games. So I presume that it is like the Hero of the Wild saga is its own like bubble at the end here, and I guess Hyrule's being founded again after it's fallen before. I don't know, but that's what I'm a bit confused about when it comes to the Zelda timeline here. I greatly appreciate the gifted sub there, Guzma. Is there no Tari? Welcome back into Team Enharmonic here. Guzma, I greatly appreciate the gifted sub. So I'm just going to presume for now that Hyrule fell and was gone for a long time, and that this beginning of Hyrule, founding of Hyrule, is specifically just the era of Wild's Hyrule, and has nothing to do with all the previous Hyrules. Because otherwise it makes the timeline way too confusing with, like, Ganondorf being sealed away at the end of this story, as we know from Tears of the Kingdom. Like, and then still being present in those other games. Like, I assume that's what's going on here. So after some Zelda game, let's just say that Hyrule fell or something or other. And now this is the founding of Hyrule 2 Electric Boogaloo. I don't know. Have to ask like an actual, like, I generally like the Legend of Zelda games. I'm definitely not a Super Zelda Turbo nerd or anything like that nowadays, like I might have been many years ago. So you'd have to ask like a Super Zelda Turbo nerd to know what the heck is going on here, because I have no friggin' idea how this timeline works, I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I can't exactly be doing that. Oh, that kind of works there. Sweet. But yeah, I hope things are going well today, as we know, Tari. So yeah, let's just not think about it too much and just treat the era of Wilds as its own, like, separate bubble entity, because it gets way too weird if we think about it in the bigger picture. All I'm gonna say, you know. Can't wait for the day that I can actually use these for a thing. So, yeah, that's what's going on there as far as I understand it. But, you know, again, I don't really get it at face value. I don't understand it. Like, it makes generally enough sense if I treat it as just an isolated thing, just the Hero of Wild saga here. But as a collective, that's just gonna make my head hurt. Like, as it would be with Strange. I don't see Ganondorf anywhere. Was it just a ploy to lead me away from the castle? Finally realized, have you? Well, you're far too late. But yeah, I'm sure it would hurt the head of anyone that really delves into the Zelda timeline. Foolish King of Hyrule, this is where you perish. Gerudo, assassin. Fierce obstructor. You were careless, Rauru, and you'll pay for this naivety with your kingdom and your life. Oh no. No. If Ganondorf's not here, then he can only be after one thing. Not the Triforce in these games. I have to get back to the castle. The Sacred Stones or whatever the heck. Like, I know the story of Breath of the Wild decently well, because, like, I played the game through a couple times before I ever, like, started it on this channel, before I ever started this channel in the first place. Tears of the Kingdom, my one casual playthrough that I did on this channel, is all I did. I don't even remember what the Sacred Stone's big deal is anymore. I just know that they were, like, some powerful thing, and if you eat them, you turn into a dragon. That's literally all I remember about the Sacred Stones. I don't know where they came from, like, what they're connected to. Where does their power come from? I don't really know. I guess I wasn't paying that close attention when I played Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't really know what the deal with the Sacred Stones is. But I know that they're the MacGuffins. I thought I was walking to the storm in Elden Ring Night Rain there for a second or something. That flute. It must be how they're controlling the shades. Defeat the Gerudo assassin and the shades. Oh my god. I just know that the Sacred Stones, whatever the heck, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones are the MacGuffins here. Maybe they're called Secret Stones. Are they called Secret Stones or Sacred Stones? Now I'm going crazy. Here. Do something like that, I guess. And then something like this. I just realized that both Zelda and Fire Emblem Warrior games that both have extremely similar combat. Yeah, they're both based on Dynasty Warriors, and I count them both under the Nintendo Warriors label. So, oh, I just realized that was a playlist I forgot to put the series into a stream one. I have a playlist specifically just for Nintendo Warriors as well, which is just for like these kinds of games. And if I play Persona 5 Strikers, then it'll go into that playlist. I'll just call it Warriors games instead of Nintendo Warriors games. I forgot to add the first 6 parts to that playlist. I can do that later. Yeah, I just count them all as Nintendo Warriors. Is what I do, personally. But I never played Tears of the Kingdom. It was so hyped for so long, but I just ended up hearing about it after it came out that it's essentially the same map as Breath of the Wild. It is almost exactly 1-for-1 the exact same map as Breath of the Wild. Only now you can go to the depths, which are kind of cool at first and have like a cool aesthetic. But once you've seen a little bit of it, you've seen it all. Like every area looks basically the same in the depths. And the Sky Islands that they were showing in trailers was basically just top 10 lies in video game history. When I thought that you were going to be able to, like, actually explore around Sky Islands that would have, like, these cool, like, vast, autumny looking areas like we saw in the trailer there. No, that's only the case for one island, and all the other Sky Islands are just, like, puzzles in the sky of a whole bunch of, like, rocks floating around. So there's only really one Sky Island that is actually a place that you explore, and the rest is just a whole bunch of randomly floating shit that makes puzzles. is all it is. So I was definitely quite disappointed by the map of Tears of the Kingdom. Because, like, what the heck do you explore? Like, a whole bunch of rocks floating around randomly in the sky. The abyss that, like, hey, cool extra surprise, but, you know, the entire place looks basically the same. And a map that you've already been over if you've played Breath of the Wild and has almost no change compared to that. You know. What do you say it's worth the money? I guess it really depends. Like, a hard maybe. It really depends on what you're getting out of it. Like, if you care the most about exploration, then it's definitely not worth it. If you care the most about story, it's definitely not worth it. They just copied freaking Breath of the Wild's homework. Did it again, the whole story that's already happened. That you just hear about in whatever order. Oh, I can high-five this guy. Aim. You know, the gameplay in building things is kind of cool. Like, if you think that you're going to get a kick out of the whole building things and coming up with, like, these custom contraptions and stuff, then yeah, I'd probably say it's worth it then. But if you don't think you get a kick out of playing Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, then I don't think that Tears of the Kingdom is worth it. In my opinion. Apparently, IGN just released a list of their top 100 Nintendo games of all time. And freaking number 2 is Breath of the Wild, and number 1 is Tears of the Kingdom. I was just like, what? Really? But that sounds like an IGN list if I've ever heard it. To be fair. Here, go ahead and do this. Yeah, I thought so. That's why I never got it. I'm glad I didn't. We have just someone who's never played either. Which one do you prefer? I mean, they both have, like, decent things going for them. They tried to do that so that, you know, Tears of the Kingdom wouldn't completely replace Breath of the Wild. And it is a better experience playing Breath of the Wild first and then Tears of the Kingdom than the other way around, I would presume. So I would just say if someone that hasn't played either, just play Breath of the Wild. And if you really get a kick out of it and think you get a kick out of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, then play Tears of the Kingdom. But probably don't start with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. That's what I would think, at least. That is what I would say, in my own opinion there. But yeah, I'd like to play either one of the two, someone who's never played either of them. Oh my fucking god, so biased, the IGN list there. Yeah, that was certainly something. I forgot what number 3 was, but then number 4 was Super Mario Odyssey. I remember seeing. So, you know. I'm glad I stuck with Breath of the Wild then. Yeah, I think it's probably the better standalone thing. Is what I would think. I do also have way more hours in Breath of the Wild, so... You know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I just didn't put enough time in Tears of the Kingdom. The Wild, the game I know how to break into. Let's return to the castle as quick as possible. That route there should be adequate. Alright, this way we go. I only have one Healy thing left, so I'm gonna have to be careful. Are there any Pokemon Switch games that were ranked pretty high? That's a good question. I was just seeing, like, posts of just the top 20 there. I haven't seen, like, the actual official list. We can look it up here. IGN top 100 Nintendo games of all time. Apparently they were doing a thing where they were releasing like 20 per day or something like that. But I think that they just like put this out here a couple days ago or something like that. Oh, and of course they have like completely separate pages so you click on multiple different pages here. That's a good question. I am curious now that you ask. Yeah, here. Let's see. Gonna absolutely laugh if there are any Pokemon Switch games. There probably is here. Resident Evil 4. That's not a Nintendo game. That's Nintendo games of all time. What the fuck? Number 20, Resident Evil 4. What? That's... Sure, it's a Nintendo GameCube game, but it's not a Nintendo game, per se. Nintendo doesn't own Resident Evil. Is this meant to say, like, top 100 best Nintendo console games of all time? IGN and Nintendo Life have teamed up for the ultimate ranking of Nintendo console... Oh, it is Nintendo console favorites. Okay, so it's not just Nintendo games. It is, like, across the console. Which means that we are dealing with a much significantly larger pool of games than just Nintendo's ones. 20 Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 6, Fire Emblem Awakening is up there. Animal Crossing New Horizons they put pretty high. Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver. That was a pretty friggin' good game right there. Mario Galaxy 2, Metroid Prime Plus Remastered, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, it was pretty good there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Yeah, a lot of these I'd say are pretty fair here. Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah, a lot of these top ones I'd say are like pretty good. Pretty justified there. 4 Super Mario Odyssey, 3 Super Mario World, 2 Breath of the Wild, 1 Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, it's my man Logan Plant! Tetris is actually a really important game to gaming history in general, I would argue. It, like, extremely important for the Game Boy and gaming history there. It's one of the top-selling video games of all time. And if you're talking about the history of the Game Boy, you can't talk about it without talking about Tetris. So it is absolutely a big title there. Also, Mythic coming in with the 45-month resub here. 45 months, let's go! I greatly appreciate the 45-month resub there, Mythic. Coming up on the 4-year mark. A few months to go before then. Welcome back to Team Entermonic. Enjoy another month of emotes and the sub badge and all that fun stuff there. And currently on a 7-stream streak.
Let's go.
But yeah, thank God Heart Gold Soul Silver is the highest ranked Pokemon game. Yeah, that is super fair there, is the case. Perhaps you would agree that Tears of the Kingdom is at least the most technically impressive Nintendo game of all time? Maybe. It might well be. You might be right there. Might just be the case. Hope things are going well tonight, Pilico Stefan. I was also confused by Resident Evil 4 on the list. Well, I'm not doing anything about that. What the heck? It was published in an exclusivity deal with Nintendo, but not even Nintendo published. Yeah, it's something there. Jump off there. But yeah, still crack up every time you see the animation there. Oop. The heck are all the things that I'm facing over here? More Gerudo assassins? Well, this sucks a little bit. Just a little smidge. Yeah, Getsus hangs out back there too. I was thinking about fun Pokemon stuff. I was recently at Indigo, like the bookstore, and there was an area where I guess they had like a bunch of kids' drawings and stuff, where it's like you can fill in, like draw in the colors for things. A bunch of them were Pokemon. And one of them was Mew, where you could draw in the colors. And surprisingly, it was a light blue instead of a pink. Like, there was some kiddo out there that actually thought about drawing a shiny Mew instead of regular Mew. And whoever that kid is out there, much respect to them. Oh my god, man. So, I thought that was interesting. I am so... gosh dang it, man! Well, controlled monstrosity. So yeah, that was a surprising thing to see there. What? Did I stop doing damage for a second there? Maybe I just stopped doing damage to the weak point bar is all it is. Okay. X rapidly. But yeah. Technically, yes. Technically in 2 ways. The intended way would have been the distributed event during Pokemon Emerald, where you go out and catch a shiny Mew rather than having one directly gifted. And I believe that event was Japan exclusive, but there you would deal with like the regular 1 in 8,192 odds. That's one legitimate way. And the other legitimate way is by glitching the hell out of Pokemon Red and Blue, where Pokemon Red and Blue don't have like shiny Pokemon in the traditional sense because they're black and white games. It's before they added color with Generation 2. But the EVs or IVs or whatever the heck they had in Generation 1 there for Pokemon stats that were just like hard set with a Pokemon spawning. If they have like a certain amount of stats, then when they transfer to another game, it counts them as shiny. So you can still technically get shiny Pokemon in Gen 1, but you just don't find out until you transfer them to other games. You can... Actually, is it even possible to do anymore on the 3DS after they turned off the servers? But it was the case, at least, where you could play Pokemon Red and Blue on your 3DS, and with being how broken games those are, you could glitch yourself a shiny... You could glitch yourself a Mew, and then glitch it to have specific stats that make it shiny, so that when you transferred it through Pokemon Bank and then Pokemon Home, it would count as a shiny Mew. And there was a time that I actually tried to set out and like get a shiny Mew that way, but didn't quite work out there. So it is legitimate. You're not cheating. You're just using the tools the developers gave you. But in terms of like doing it a developer intended way, it would only be through Pokemon Emerald. That is the only case of that. Dang it, I'm trying really freaking hard to dodge that. But yeah, you can get it as a shiny there. Still have Pokemon Red on my... I cannot dodge these things for the life of me. Just kill me. I've lost too much health. There's probably going to be one more battle. Look at that last little stretch of land over there. Let me reload my checkpoint. Yeah, I caught level 94 Gengar in Viridian Forest. Yeah, well, that's one of those buggy things that you can do. Got the 20th year anniversary edition too, so got the Charizard and Blastoise covers. Nice. Yeah, you can technically get Shiny Mew in that. But I don't know if you can still use Pokemon Bank and then connect it to Pokemon Home and stuff. I don't know if you still can. Maybe you can. If you can, then you could get Shiny Mew legitimately that way. Just takes a little bit of effort. It's something I briefly tried to do in 2018. You can still find it on my channel. You'll find it as like the very first thing in my Pokemon main series playlist. But yes, you would have to glitch the game. Which, isn't too terribly hard. It's just a bit finicky. Like, you do risk kind of destroying your entire save file in the process. Is a real potential risk that you incur. Here. Ow. But yeah, I have Pokemon Yellow and Silver on my 3DS and an original Game Boy Color of Yellow. Nice. I have my Game Boy Color that I'm still... Gotta sort out some games for one of these days. Okay, jump on here. Okay. Come on. Something like this. Beams. Yeah, by Nintendo standards, you're right. I, like, jumped off, but then I didn't. Weird. I don't know. Big spins. Big spins. Hey, come on. Boop. This is going a lot better than the last time. Here, just do a couple basic strings. Something like this. My yellow Game Boy Color perfectly matches the yellow color of Pokemon Yellow and Donkey Kong Land 2. Whoa! Whoa! Very nice there. Okay. Should I just take out the Gerudo Assassin first? Would you be a lot easier to kill? Here, high five this random guy over here. Well, I assume will become like an actual character later. It really wants me to focus on the Gerudo bish there. Here, press repeatedly. Get that guy there. Speedrun is broken AF though. That's sad there. Boop. Boop. I can't do the thing in time there. Were you getting ready to do a thing? No, can't quite get that in time there. But yeah. Hello, hello, Mustache Rider 42069. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. Mythic White I've been seeing. Mustache. I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Welcome on into the shenanigans here. Whoa. Whoop. Now you're doing that thing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop that really quickly because that is so dang rude of you. But yeah, welcome on in to the shenanigans here, Mustache Rider. It is a pleasure to have you, truly. Okay, let's get some basic string stuff really quickly. Sure, maybe you die now. Then curious, did you find this stream from the mustache tag? I haven't dicked around with my tags in like forever. Now Guzma gifting us some to Mustache Rider. Welcome on into Team Enharmonic Mustache Rider. Enjoy a month of the emotes and the sub badge there. I haven't messed around with my tags in like forever. I set that mustache tag back when I just had a wicked stash and before I grew out the beard. Now that I have like a full beard at this point, there isn't really that much of a stash anymore. Now it's more of like a feature of like the bigger facial hair situation that's going on. But I do distinctly remember making that mustache tag back when I was rocking solely an epic mustache. But that's not even the case anymore. So, you know, I guess I've got a mustache plus at this point. So, you know, you can't complain too much. You know, it's not like the mustache went away. It's just a smaller feature of the bigger thing now. But yeah, the beard looks fantastic as well, but the mustache region especially is just too... Wait, is this the end of the sentence, or... Region especially is just too... something. Amazing. Too top. True. That's the end of the sentence there. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Age of Imprisonment at 42 gigabytes would be the largest file size of any Nintendo published game ever. The upcoming Metroid Prime 4 is 29 gigabytes by comparison. Yeah, the fact that this game is 42 gigabytes is actually wild to me. Is it the, like, largest Nintendo published game yet, then? Because, that thought didn't even occur to me, but now that you mention it, yeah, it might just be right. 42 gigabytes! Oh my, Hylia! Apparently it is. But yeah. Yo, Harmonia with a handlebar stashed? How's it going, Theodore Master? But yeah. Oh, I missed a bit about the handlebar mustache. Now it makes more sense why Mythic was saying that. I think you look amazing with a handlebar mustache. Maybe the next time when I'm shaving and I want to experiment around with some some different stash ideas there. And now Guzma gifting us some to Redora Master there. I greatly appreciate the gifted sub, Guzma. And Redora Master, welcome on into Team Enharmonic. Enjoy a month of the emotes and the sub badge and all that fun stuff there. Still baffles me that Pacopia is the same size as Switch 2 Edition Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC included because updates. Yeah, it's, what, like 10 gigabytes something or other? And it's game keycard exclusive? Because, yes. I appreciate the follow there, Mustache Rider. Yeah, you're subscribed to the channel, so may as well follow now. What the thought process might be. May as well at this point. Kind of went down the subscription route before the follow happened. Which is a little funny. Hurry onward towards the castle of Majesty. I'll stay here, but thank you. But promise me you'll flee if the situation grows dire. Look, there's probably a little bit more level here, right? Just look at the map. Yeah, that's what I figured. One more battle here. How long is your hair? Good question. Yay long. Never measured it before, but however long this is. Oh, maybe this is the end of the level. Maybe I'm good.